Hey there! Welcome to the channel where you will find love, laughs, and DIYs. My name is Crafty Kathy. I am the owner and creator of Kids Vintage Farmhouse here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I am so happy and thankful that you came my way to craft with me today. Today I've got an amazing DIY video for you. I made some last minute gift in a jar, and then there's a few on there that I wanted to show you because they are some of my favorite goodies. Now those aren't so much in a jar, but you could probably put them in a jar if you wanted to, and they make great gifts to give to like a hostess or your cousin or anybody that you want to DIY a gift for. I think the act of making a gift for someone makes it more special because it shows them that you're taking your time to make the most special gift for them and you're putting that time and thought into it. The first one's going to be a DIY candle. I had a company reach out to me. It's called DIY Gift Kits. They've got several different gift kits that you can pick from, and I picked this soy candle. The candles, it was so easy for me because that's one of my most favorite things to get and give. And they even send you this little double burner little pot that you use. They send you everything you need to make your candles. These are little soy candle chips. They also sent the little tins that you put your candles in. They even sent the labels for the candles. They sent some smaller tins, big tins, even little tea light tins. And they sent me 4 of those different flakes of the soy candles, and each one was 8 ounces, so they sent me 2 pounds. This little package had like a stirrer inside, it had the wicks inside, it had the little double stick thingies to hold the wicks down, and it even had stirrers. They even sent me the scents and the colors. So let's just get started and let me show you what I did. This little kit came with the most easiest instructions. It was like step by step. It's pretty much foolproof. You cannot mess up with these little kits. And let me just show you a couple of the other kits that they have real quick. They have bath bomb, hot sauce, real gin, and lip balm, and then this candle. But like I said, hands down, I'm a candle person. These were so easy, guys. You just heat up a pan of water about halfway up your pan, and then you're going to pour your little soy chips into this little double burner. And if you want to put a color in there, which I picked the red because, hello, it's Christmas, and I just set it in there. You turn your eye on your stove down to a medium to low heat and just let it didn't take just but a few moments because these are in little chips and so they're really easy. These are those little double-sided sticky tape type things. One goes down in the center of your tin, the other one goes on the end of the wick, and they even sent me a little clothespin so I can hold that wick in the very center. And then here's a couple of the little labels they sent me. Literally, by the time that I put that wick in there and I put the little label on there, my stuff was ready to pour. So I gave it a pretty good stir, and then you're going to add whatever essential oil you want. They sent me some lemongrass and lavender and a sandalwood. I didn't want any of those scents because it's Christmas, and so I had my own peppermint because I was doing some DIY stuff, and I always keep a peppermint essential oils. So I put a whole bunch in there. It calls for about 12 drops. I'll probably put more like 50. And then you just fill up your little tins with this. And they only sent 1 clothespin, but I just kind of used like a little spoon and just different things to kind of make sure that my wick stays up in the middle. And then you just leave it alone and let it dry. You're also going to need to leave about 1 to 2 tablespoons of the wax, not inside anything, just kind of set it aside. That way you can pour it on the very top when you finish. Now the second one that I did, there was a red and a green colorant. I put just a little bit of the green color in there. I don't know why I did that because I knew I was going to use lavender, but I like my candles to have color. It was pretty much either green or white, and so I just put a little bit of that green in there, and I actually dumped this whole bottle of lavender in there because I thought, what the heck, I've got more lavender essential oil because that's one of the ones that I always keep on hand, and I thought, you know what, I want this baby to smell good, and so I just ended up dumping the whole thing in there. With the lavender one, I decided to pour it into a Bath and Body Works candle jar. I always keep my candle jars from Bath and Body Works because you can use them for so many things. And just so you kind of know, it took 2 of those little packages, which was 16 ounces of the flakes, to make one of these candles. And it literally filled it up. I only had like a teaspoon left, which is what it calls for, and I just set all of these candles aside and let them dry. In about an hour, all my candles were ready. I just trimmed the wicks off of them and put the tops on them. And I like to gift my candles by putting a ribbon around the top or some of the red and white striped jute cord, and I like to put a little ornament along with it. I think that's cute and sweet, and sometimes I put a bow and sometimes I don't. I hope you like this one. I'm going to leave the link below to the Amazon where you can get these DIY kits in case you want to gift one to someone that loves to do DIYs. I think it's a great idea. The next one is a peppermint body scrub, and it couldn't get any easier than this. In a mixing bowl, you just mix up 1 cup of sugar, and you're going to mix up a couple other ingredients. It's so super easy. I used coconut oil, but I quickly realized that you can't use hard coconut oil, so I stuck it in the microwave for a few moments. And while that was going, I went ahead and added my other ingredients. I added some of that peppermint essential oil that I have. And you can add as many drops as you want. I probably added at least 100, and I'm not joking. And then I also added about a spoonful of vanilla. And by the way, I'll leave all these ingredients in the box below so it makes it easier for you. And I also added some cinnamon. It called for a half a teaspoon, and I didn't have any ground cinnamon, so I just kind of got some cinnamon sticks, and I made my own ground cinnamon, which smelled so good. And by this time, I got my half a cup of coconut oil that I needed, and you just mix this all together. And that's simply all you do. Now, here's where I went wrong, and I wouldn't advise that you do this, but I did because I wanted mine to be colored. The only food coloring I had was a gel kind. I wasn't thinking when I used it. If I used regular food coloring, just a drop or 2, wouldn't have hurt anything. But this oil-based that I had stains your skin. I didn't think about it until after I had stirred it up and realized that it had stained my skin. So therefore, when you take a bath, it's going to stain your skin. Sure, you can wash it off, but who wants the headache of having to scrub off your scrub? You know what I'm saying? I got this little jar from the Dollar Tree, and I just filled it full of my beautiful little scrub. And then all you have to do at that point is wrap your little ribbon or bow around it, whatever you want to put on it, and I'll show you how I gifted mine. I will also leave the little gift tag in the description box below.
Then you know it's Christmas when the snow starts to fall. Then you know it's Christmas for the children above all. Then you know it's Christmas, 'cause Santa's on his way.
The next one is some yummy cinnamon oatmeal cookies. I gave mine in a mason jar, and you're definitely going to use one of the bigger sized mason jars, the quart size, and you're going to need a funnel because it just makes it easier to get all your ingredients down in there without it going everywhere. But you're going to use a cup of all-purpose flour, and then what I did was just kind of used my little spoon, and it made it easier for it to go down the funnel. Then you are going to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of baking soda, and a fourth of a teaspoon of just table salt. And you're going to mix that up really well inside your jar. Then you're going to want to tamp it down, kind of like pack your ingredients down. And don't laugh at me. The only thing that I had to use to tamp this down with was a meat thermometer, but it worked well. And yes, I washed it before I used it. The next ingredient is going to be some light brown sugar. You're going to use half a cup, and I knew that I could get that in there without that funnel. And so you just put that in there and you tamp it down. Then you're going to do the exact same thing with a half a cup of regular sugar, and you're going to tamp that down. Then I used some of those old-fashioned rolled oats, and it's important that it says the old-fashioned rolled oats. You're going to use 1.5 cups of that. Get it in there and tamp it down real good also. And my favorite part is this Hershey's cinnamon flavored chips. They are so good, y'all. They are so good. And you use 2/3 of a cup, and you put that on the top, and then you just put it together on the top. And let me show you how I do mine. I like to take a small piece of some really pretty tissue paper, and I got this one from the Dollar Tree, and I just kind of cut along the top of the rim there. And that's what's going to make the lid. And then I just wrap it up with some kind of a beautiful bow or ribbon, and I use that lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I also used some of my red and white striped jute cord, and then I used a small little pick that I got from Amazon and some of the little berries that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I think this makes a beautiful gift. You can give it by itself in this jar, or you can juice it up a little bit, and let me show you what I did. I just added a couple things from the Dollar Tree, a mixing bowl, and then a little mitt that I got at a thrift store that was brand new, but it still had the tags on it. It was Mickey Mouse. And then some of the Betty Crocker stirring stuff that comes from the Dollar Tree, some little cookie cutters, and then a little 98-cent Walmart ornament. And I think this makes a beautiful gift also. Now you can give those to where they can make this themselves, but I wanted to see what these things tasted like. So what you do whenever you gift this is you give them this little tag that I will put in the description box that tells how to make this. It's very easy. You just dump that out in your mixing bowl. You're also going to need 1 stick of butter. And I like to cut mine into like smaller cubes. It just makes it easier to stir. And it needs to be softened butter. You're also going to use 1 egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. You're simply going to stir that up real good. And then you're going to make teaspoon-sized little rounded cookie balls out of this. And it filled up 1 big-sized cookie sheet perfectly. You cook it on 350 for like 14 minutes, and these are so crunchy, but that cinnamon makes it so sweet and satisfying. And with the oatmeal in there, I didn't feel like I was totally being bad, but they really are good. So you can give them like this, and they make a beautiful gift if you put them in like a little mason jar like this, or you can just give them the mix. Now let's talk some fudge, guys. This is the best and easiest peanut butter fudge you will ever make. I promise you that. I used 1 bag of the classic white Ghirardelli, and I had already put a little bit of my condensed milk, or my milk in there. That's what was in the bottom there. I thought that it was going to be easier just to make like little holes in the side. Well, it wasn't. So, that stuff is so thick. But 1 can of condensed milk, and you dump that all in your little mixing bowl together. And you're going to need half a cup of the crunchy style peanut butter. And then you're going to mix it up really good. You're going to put it in your microwave in 30-second increments. And it literally just took 1 minute. You stir it up real good. And what I like about this is it's not messy. Now, here when you take it out, you're going to add a teaspoon of the vanilla in there. And I didn't actually measure. I just kind of know how much that is. So I stir it up really good. And then I like to use these little throwaway pans. And I put parchment paper down. And I sprayed it with a little bit of like the baking spray. You know, so it won't be sticky or anything when I'm done. I stirred it up real good. And look how this just comes together. And I promise y'all, it took longer for me to tell you how to make this than it does to just make it. It all came out. All you do is you're going to just kind of spread that out in your pan. I used the pans from the Dollar Tree. I think they're probably about a 9x9. It calls for an 8x8, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's all on how thick you want your peanut butter fudge to be. You can also add peanuts to the top of this, which I did because I think it gives it a little bit of extra crunch and I like it. You need to put at least a half a cup, but just put however much you want. I sprinkled about 3/4 of a cup on there and just a little bit of sea salt. Pop it in the fridge for 1 hour and it is so good. I spray my knife with a little bit of that non-stick spray because it makes it cut this fudge like butter, baby. And then you just cut it into little bite-sized, well, big old bite-sized pieces. And guys, it makes a beautiful gift. You can give it in a mason jar. You can give it in those little boxes from the Dollar Tree. You can give it even in like some Tupperware. Nobody cares because when they eat this stuff, they are going to think that you spent all day in the kitchen cooking this, making it old granny style. But y'all, I could not believe how easy and how delicious this fudge is. I will never make it any other way but this. My husband and I both are not fudge peanut butter eaters, peanut butter fudge eaters. We don't like it. We never have. It's always been too rich, but I couldn't leave this alone. It is that good. Now let me tell you how to make the chocolate fudge. I used 1 32-ounce thing of powdered sugar, and then I'm going to add a cup of the unsweetened cocoa powder. Then it calls for half a cup of whole milk and 2 sticks of softened butter, and I like to cut those up in pieces just like I did before. You do not stir this yet. You just put it in there. Do not stir it. You put that in the microwave for 3 minutes and you still have not stirred it. Then you're going to take it out, stir it really well, put it back in the microwave in 30-second increments, which it literally just took 1 minute, and you stir it really good in between each time. You take it out and you add 2 teaspoons of the vanilla, and then you're going to add walnuts if you want, which I did. I probably added that whole 4 ounce. I did actually add that whole 4-ounce thing of walnuts. You stir it up real good. You're going to put it on that same type of baking dish as we did before. And you know I spray mine before I put it down. This called for a 9x13 baking dish. But like I said, these little things I got from Dollar Tree were probably 9x9. And I'm just guessing. Then you spread it out real good. And I put some little red sugar sprinkles on the top of mine that I got from the Dollar Tree. And guys, you pop this in the fridge for 1 hour, take it out and cut it, and it's just as great as the peanut butter fudge. But I have to say, the peanut butter fudge is my favorite.
The wonders of life got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days. Wonder be true. Wherever I go, I got you. Oh, I have stopped running, there is no way trying. You better loosen your belts. Drinking hot wine by the fire, don't care of anything else.
Now this one is just a little freebie I wanted to throw in here. It's one of the most easiest desserts, and I am asked to make this every holiday. You're supposed to use a can of crushed pineapple, but I didn't have any, so I used 2 cans of the pineapple chunks, and I made it crushed myself. I just used the end of a rolling pin and did it myself. But it's 2 cans of crushed pineapple, and you also want that juice in there. Don't pour that juice out. To your 2 cans of crushed pineapple, you're going to add 2 cans of the cherry filling, pie filling and topping, it's called. You're also going to need a stick of butter and a box of yellow or butter style cake mix, and you're going to need some pecan halves. Okay, so I'm going to add my 2 things of cherry right in the middle of your pineapple. Then you're just going to stir it up real good. This is also called cherry dump cake, and that's why you want that liquid in there from the pineapple, because you want it to bubble up through that cake mix, and it makes the most perfect crust on the top. So on the top, you take your cake mix, and I just dump mine out on the top, and then I just kind of spread it out evenly. And you're going to use your stick of butter, and you do put this in the microwave and liquefy your butter, by the way. Then you're just going to take that stick of butter, you're going to pour it all, or 2 sticks of butter, I'm sorry. You're going to pour it all over the top of your Cherries Jubilee here. And then you're going to add your pecan halves. And it calls for at least half a cup of pecan halves, and sometimes I add a little bit more. I just kind of add it all over the top, and you will see how thick that I put it on. You pop it in the oven on 350 for an hour, and it just bubbles up into that cake mix, and it makes the most perfect. You can either call it a cherry dump cake, but I like to call it Cherries Jubilee, and my family always calls it gone in an instant. See, Renee, get out from under that Christmas tree, girl. What are you doing? Roxy. Roxy, that's not your Christmas baby. No, no. Roxy? Roxy, no. Where you going, Rox? Roxy. Roxy. What you doing? Nala, be nice. Nala, Nala, that was not nice. What's wrong with her, Roxy? She's crazy. She's crazy. Roxy. I wanted to share with y'all this little centerpiece I made for the table. Off of Amazon, I bought these little things called super beads. It's those beads when you put them in water that they blow up like a million times their size. And you just leave them in water for 6 to 8 hours. And they start off this tiny, but after 6 hours, they end up to be about the size of a marble. You take them out and you drain them. And then I got this great old big 2-gallon jar. It's a glass jar from Walmart. I'm going to pour my marbles in there, or I call them marbles, but they're super beads. And then I remembered that I was supposed to put trees in the bottom of this. So I thought I'm going to do it anyways. And I just used my 3 little trees that I had, and I put those in the very bottom of my container. Then I filled my little glass container about halfway up, and I had bought a cake topper that's Santa Claus and his reindeer. I got it off of Amazon. I wanted it to make Santa Claus look like he's flying through the air. So then I just added the rest of the little super beads on top of him, and then I filled it up with water. I actually ended up putting too much water in there whenever I filled it up. It's only supposed to be to the top of the beads, so I had to take a little bit of the water out, but I made it work. And then when everybody gets together, I'm going to put some floating candles on the top. I can't wait to see what this is going to look like when it's lit up with those floating candles. It's going to be so sweet, and my grandson's going to absolutely love this. I hope all of y'all have a great Christmas. Let's not forget what the true meaning of Christmas is. And I love each and every one of y'all. And God bless you. And I will see you back real soon. Bye, guys.